This is homework number 6, problem 7. Problem 7, you're being asked if a certain value is a 0 of this function. Let's write the function down first. F of x equals x squared minus 10x plus 24. Alright, back in one of our early assignments, you were asked if a particular coordinate pair was a solution of a linear equation. This is similar. You're being asked if the value 5 minus 2i will work in place of x. When we take x out of this equation and we put 5 minus 2i in, well, we get 0. Well, the function equals 0. Now, as you look at this, you're like, oh, there's no way. It's got a letter in it. How could it ever make this equal 0? But let's watch and see what happens. Alright, so we're going to be taking the function of 5 minus 2i. So that I put it in the placeholder on this side in place of x. I don't do anything with it on this side. Where things start to happen is over here. Alright, I'm supposed to put in 5 minus 2i for x here. And it says that's to be squared. So I write down 5 minus 2i in a set of pair of parentheses and put the second power on it. Subtract 10, another pair of parentheses, another pocket in which we're going to put 5 minus 2i and then the plus 24. I'll let that sit for a minute so you can see what we did. I rewrote this function, took out the x's, and in their place, in these two spots, here and here, I put 5 minus 2i. Now we have some simplifying to do, and it's going to take a little bit of work because this 5 minus 2i, first of all, it needs to get multiplied by itself. So remember how we write that. You write that binomial times itself instead of to the second power. That's what that means. Now, this one here, the 10 wants to get multiplied by both things inside. Now, I'm going to think of that as a minus 10. I'm going to use the sign, the operation symbol in front of it. And I'm going to go minus 10 times 5 is negative 50. So subtract 50. Negative 10 times negative 2i is going to be a positive 20i. So I'm going to write plus 20i. So again, I've distributed the negative 10 into this binomial, and this is what I got. Alright, and then finally add the 24. Alright, here I've got some multiplying to do. This binomial needs to get multiplied by this one with FOIL. So I'll start with 5 times 5, which is 25. And then the 5 needs to get multiplied by the minus 2i. Remember to use the sign in front of it, the operation symbol in front of it. So 5 times negative 2i is negative 10i. And then we've got negative 2i times 5 again, but with this negative 2. Alright, and we get negative 10i again. You should be understanding the pattern by now on these binomials that get squared. You get the same middle term when you do that because you're multiplying the same identical terms each time. Alright, the last one is to multiply my lasts. The negative 2i times the negative 2i. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and the I times the I is I squared. I'm going to just bring down the rest of my equation for now. I could do some extra simplifying, but I think I'll try to do that all in one step. Okay, now there's going to be some like terms in here. For instance, this is an I term, this is an I term, this is also, but it's I squared. They have to be the same variable to the same power. I've got these three terms that are something times I. I can put them together. Now let's look at that. Negative 10i and negative 10i. That's going to be negative 20i. That's going to be negative 20i. Look over here. This is positive 20i. Negative 20i plus 20i. Isn't that just going to be 0? So these terms, this one, and this one, end up zeroing out. They just end up zeroing out. Now let's look at another term in here, the 4i squared. Remember, I squared equals -1. I've asked you to commit that to memory. Have you? Do you have that memorized now? I squared equals -1. So if we have 4 times I squared, we have 4 times -1. 4 times -1. That's -4. Alright, so let's bring down what we have left here. The I terms are all gone. I've got the 25. I have subtract 4, or plus a -4. I have minus 50, and I have plus 24. So all I have left are numerals. Let's start adding and subtracting these numerals. Addition and subtraction from left to right. 25 minus 4 is 21. Okay? 21 minus 50. 21 minus 50, that's like adding a -50, taking a larger number from a smaller one. Let's see, that's going to be a -29 plus 24. And -29 plus 24, the negatives win by 5. So when I put in 5 minus 2i, the answer I got out is -5. I did not get 0. Because I didn't get 0, 5 minus 2i is not a 0 of the function. When I put it in for x, it does not make this side of the equation, the function, equals 0. So we say no, 5 minus 2i is not a 0 of the function. And we're done.